Me and myself pour iron board to stack those $1,000 billings. We move in robotic ways because we got no feelings. From dusk till dawn and beyond, we work through the realness of red eyes, coffee breaks, and tired bones. The family comes war-equipped with Uzis, AK, and grenades for all those. To defeat Murphy's Law and his cousins, the infamous. For they come with machine guns of hopelessness and self-defeating properties. Every day we keep our collective nose down and move with intentionalities to ward off strikes against self-fulfilling prophecies. It's just like we want it. All along these streets to keep gunning and to keep the shook of the mind from running. What's going on, K-2s? Guys, that poem was written in my financial journal back in December of 2015, guys. When I made up my mind to be debt-free. When I made up my mind to pay off the last $30,000 on my debt to be debt-free and then make the dollars I did have grow. Many people, guys, have asked me over the years, K-2, people of my, younger generation, my young co-workers, some subscribers along the way have asked me, K-2, how did you maintain your level of discipline in getting debt-free in 3.5 years? But not only that, how did you maintain and increase your level of discipline, your financial discipline, and making your money grow, building financial wealth? Well, guys, one of the things you're gonna learn in this video is that I use the things in my life as depicted as real characters. Case in point, Murphy's Law and his cousins, broke, desperate, and stupid. I made them real, guys. I made my struggle against them real. Things like society, things like life, right? Time. I made these things real in my life, guys. I made obstacles real in my life. That's one of the things you're gonna learn in this video, how I increase my financial discipline. And I made also my angels real. I made them generals in my war, my financial debt-free war, to be debt-free. My grandfather, my uncle, and my stepfather, Oscar, I made them generals in my war. And it was my battle plan, guys, our specific battle plan to be debt-free, to build wealth. That's what you're gonna learn in this video. I've always been asked also, what do I want? I want this to serve as my series of videos. Why I started this financial channel, guys, is to serve for my upline, my family, and the downline. In particular, my downline. People in my family have not been born yet. For 100 years from now, my great-great-great-grandnieces and grandnephews and grandkids can look back and say, well, how'd he do it? How'd he do it? This is gonna serve as a documentation how I did it. So if anyone's asking my family, how did my dad do it? How did my brother do it? How did my uncle do it? You're gonna find out here and right now, guys. Something you are not gonna hear on any other YouTube videos. You're gonna hear it right now, how I increased my financial discipline to build the wealth, the financial wealth I'm building right now. How I went from welfare, broke mentality to abundance mentality of financial wealth building. Stay tuned. What's going on, K-2s? Welcome back to the K-2 Health Channel, guys. K-2s, good to see you again. If you're new to the channel and you like what you hear during this video, I'm gonna ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Not only that, if you find this information beneficial to you, you may find this information beneficial to someone you care and love. Share this information with them. K-2s, welcome back. This is the Financial Health channel, and welcome, if you're new, welcome to the Financial Health Revolution. Guys, the clip you just seen was a scene from my recent trip to Egypt. Fabulous trip I took, guys, and I can only take that if I took care of my financial business years ago leading up until now, and I did. Rewarded myself, and I'll talk more about this during my Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover update coming up for 2024, coming up, guys, in a few weeks, so stay tuned to that. Okay, so guys, today's video is going to be a very interesting one. My best video I've ever done, the most important video I've ever done leading up to my Ramsey update coming up here. That will be the best video, best update I've ever done, so stay tuned to that. Okay, this video is going to be about things people have asked me over the years. Some things my family's probably wondering about, that they are either afraid to ask me or wondering, and then they talk, getting around each other and hush hush, like, how do you do that? How do you do this? How do you do that? Now you get ready to find out, fam. People who are interested, curious, subscribers, young co-workers who have worked with me in the past, you get ready to find out right here and right now how I developed the confidence and maintain my confidence to get through this process, how I learned to have confidence, how I grew in my confidence. It all started with my discipline, guys. And now you're gonna find out what discipline, what tricks of the trade I use to better my discipline and maintain my discipline, okay? So, guys, before I start, I want to let you know that I have put myself in position to help you guys, help others out there. There are on the average in America, there are in between 60, 70, up to 80% at sometimes people who are struggling with their money, who are living paycheck to paycheck, stressing themselves out, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, having health issues because of the stress, because of the money stress. Most marriages and relationships end in separation because of money matters in this country, okay? And I can go on and on and on and on and on, guys. There's stats after stats after stats on why, in America at least, financial wellness is very important, okay? Now, I do pro bono work. I've created the 15-minute with coach session, free work for you guys. I do volunteer work. I don't have a lot of time. I'm putting some time into this practice to help you guys out there who need help. I'm doing 15-minute increments, 15-minute with coach session. You're welcome to get a hold of me on my Facebook page, K-2 Facebook. Leave a link down below in the description box. You guys are welcome to get a hold of me if you need help. We can work something out, have a 15 minutes with me session, either ask questions about how I got here, my past, or what I'm going through right now, or do the process, or what you're going through right now, how to help you out with your budget. I'm specializing in budgeting. More and more and more, I'm going to be talking about the stock market and things of that nature. How do you build money? Of course, you can't build money unless you take care of the money you have, right? And that's where it comes from, the budgeting aspect of it. So I'm specializing in budgeting and getting yourself prepared for that moment to increase and grow your money. Also, I have what I call a financial savvy test. You're welcome to go to my Facebook page, hit the logo up top when you get to my page, the cover photo. Inside there is a financial savvy test. Have fun with it. It's like 10 questions. You guys are welcome to go through it. See where you are in the process. So get a gauge on finding out where you are in your financial savviness, right? Get back to me when you get done with the answers. Pick your answers at multiple choice. I'll get back with you with the real answers, and we can have a one-on-one with that, and we can break down and have fun with it. So also, what I do, guys, is I do an app, a financial app called Moomoo. I have other investments. I'm going to talk to you guys more and more about that during my Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover update coming up. And I have a Moomoo app that I use also for my individual stocks. So I'll break that down for you. I'm going to break down all my accounts during my Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover update. Like I said, coming up in a few weeks on where I am financially in 2024. But you guys are welcome to, for those out there who are debt-free now and ready to and put their money to investments, to grow their investments in the stock market, for example. You are maxed out your IRA, you moved on from your 401k at your job, and you got some extra disposable income. You're looking to grow your money, and you're looking for great apps. Moomoo is a great app. I use it, guys. It's great for me. It's been working out wonderful for me. You're welcome to get on board. I'll leave a link down below. Moomoo will give you up to 15 free stocks. I had 5 free stocks when I signed up with Moomoo, and I put down $100 in their account. So that's just for example, okay? You guys are interested, go to my link down below, and I'll have that available for you. So guys, I want you guys to understand, before I start telling you guys the tricks of the trade, how I better my discipline and maintain my discipline, getting through the process of going debt-free back in 2017 to now up to 2024, using my extra money to build wealth. How did I get to that point? I had to maintain my discipline. I'm gonna share with you guys what I did to maintain my discipline through that process. But understand this. I only talk about financial health on this channel, guys, but I want you guys to understand, before I begin, we have to come to the realization that there are 4 healths that are very important for us to have a fruitful life, right? There's the physical health, of course, right? If we are struggling with our physical health, guys, either blood pressure issues, cholesterol issues, we're overweight, we have diabetes, we have other physical ailments that are holding us back to our fruitful life, right? To hold us back to go out and get money, for example, to go out and put in 8 hours of work in, to put in 80 hours of work during the weekend, to put in extra money to get our grind in. If we have a hard time doing that because we have physical ailments, then you're gonna have a hard time fulfilling your fruitful life, right? Of living the life you want to live. If you got mental disabilities, or you're going through depression, you're going through a lot of anxiety in your life, you're going through a lot of things that's holding you back from the past, right? You're consumed about your past, what happened to you. You having those kind of things in your life right now, right? First of all, I always would recommend to seek help, just like you go to the gym. Seek help for your mentals, right? Seek a therapist, counselor, someone that can sit down with you and discuss and help you with those kind of things, right? But getting back to it, that's going to hold you back on having a fruitful life, right? If you having some thoughts of having a hard time getting up in the morning, you don't know what you're on this planet for, you don't have no sense of direction, right? You can have all the money in the world, but if you can have $1 million, $5 million, $10 million in your bank account, guys, but if you don't have no sense of direction, no sense of purpose, why you get up in the morning, all that money will be squandered, right? We've seen it many times. Over, you ever seen someone that win the lottery and 2 years later all their money's gone? Because they have no sense of purpose, no sense of why they're here, no sense of how to use that money to benefit them, right? Then what's the use, right? Again, the last one is going to be financial, right? That's why I'm here, guys, to talk about this, right? If you can have all the physical health you want, you can be a stud. You can have, 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. You can have a 10 grade physical, 10 grade mental, 10 grade spiritual, a purpose. But if you have no financial means to fuel your dreams, goals, aspirations, then what kind of fruitful life are you going to have? In America, guys, you got to understand, nothing moves but the money, okay? It takes money to make things work. It takes money to make your dreams work. It takes money to have a go at it, right? So, again, all these 4 pillars mean something, okay? And I want you guys to understand that before I start this video, okay? Now, guys, here's the facts about the 4 pillars of health. They all work with each other, right? Sometimes, think of it like a tire gauge in your car. If you got a tire gauge in your car and you're monitoring that as you drive down the road, you may go to the air pump and fill up all your tires, right? Your tire gauge would read 45 when you're done, right? All tires at 45, but as you drive down the road, you'll notice that they don't stay the same. They don't stay 45, do they? Sometimes they're 44, they're 43, 42, you know, you're down the road, they're 40. It gets cold outside, they're 39, 38. It gets warm outside, they're 46, 47. So they're always changing, aren't they, guys? It's the same thing with your 4 pillars of health. They're always changing. They're always changing. Your mental health one day will be 6. Your physical health one day will be 10. Or 9, 8, 9. Your financial health will be 5, 6. You know, you go through a bad moment in your life, and they all may change, right? You go through an instant death in your life where you have to come out of some money to bury somebody. Your financial health is going to take a hit. It's going to go from 9 to 6. Your mental health, your stress levels, and things of that nature. Your spirit level may drop to 4. Your mental level may drop to 7, 6, right? And things of that nature. So they're always changing depending on what happens in your life and where you are that particular day. So it's very important that we realize that. And to this day, guys, I keep track of those 4 things when I wake up in the morning. Where I am, where I think I am in that process, right? You know, so it's very important to realize that. And I get questions over the years, like I say. The challenge for me, again, for you as well, is to know where we are in that process as we wake up in the morning, right? So we can know where we are, we know how to address it, right? Or go about addressing it. And I only want to say this before I begin with my list is this video, the information I share on this video, guys, is for only people who have made up their minds that they want change, okay? And this is for only people who want to get better at their personal finances, all right? This information I share on this video is not for you if you think I'm here to convince you, right? At this moment, you are already convinced in yourself that you're ready to change financially. You're ready to make a go at it, right? Because you think this financial health thing can translate to the 4 other pillars in your life as well. Can make you less stressful, right? To increase to better your blood pressure, better your cholesterol, to get you more at ease in your life, right? To help you with your anxiety, right? May not be able to solve those things, but it better put you on the right path to taking care of the other pillars of health in your life, right? Okay, so I want you guys, as you listen to this, come up with your own ways, come up with your own strategies, your own version of Kminustwo. I'm going to break all this down for you, okay? Now, when I give you this list of things that help me, maybe you want to use one of these, or all of these, or none of these, all right? So, but as I'm talking about my life and what I did to better my financial situation, I want you to think about your own and how you can improve yourself in your own life, okay? Now, guys, what makes this financial health channel different from most that you're going to see on YouTube is, look, I'm real. I don't go off any prompters. I'm a real dude, real life. I'm no fakeness, okay? This is straight from my journal. You long-term subscribers know that since I started my process back in 2013, I wrote everything down. I documented everything down throughout my process to be financially well, okay? And I keep things in my journal. Every time I speak to you guys, I speak from the heart and I speak straight from the pages of my journal, guys, okay? And every video is from my journal that I wrote down, okay? And there's one thing over the years you're gonna find out. If you're new, you're gonna find out, go back and look at my old videos. I always stress, write it down, write it down, write it down, right? Something magical happens when you write it down, thought to paper, right? Okay, so guys, now assuming that you guys have put your why everywhere, right? This is assuming that you guys have your why, right? Or whys. You guys know about me. I've started this process. I have a number of whys, and you just found out in my pre-video, one of them or a couple of them, right? It was to have a living documentation of when I'm not here, When my family downline sees this 50 years, 100 years from now, 200 years from now, they go back and go, well, how did he do it? How did he actually have the discipline to get through all that, to go from a welfare mentality, broke mentality, to a life of abundance mentality, right? To build wealth, right? You're gonna find out here, and this is why I'm doing this, right? Also to give out hope to people in my situation, from where I come from, and people who are struggling financially to live a better life, right? To give them hope, to give people hope, right? No matter where you come from, no matter what color you are, no matter what your background, color, and creed, right? Okay, so assuming you guys have your whys, let's go, right? Your purpose, okay? Your why to your purpose, right? This is exactly what I did in my process, guys. I want to tie in my why to my purpose, okay? What's your purpose? Your purpose is, why is your whys important? Why do you get up in the morning? What's your purpose? It's a sense of direction, right? That's your purpose, right? Tie your why to your purpose, right? Your why to your purpose to your theme. When I had to go through this process, guys, I put in that order. Why to my purpose, and I gave my journey a theme, right? And from that theme, from K-2, the creation of K-2, out of that came a theme song, right? And I'm gonna break all this down, right? My theme song, guys, is very important for me. As I'm driving down that road, you long-term subscribers know that part of what helped me out was having a lot of alone time. I worked as a route driver in Minneapolis for a company, so I was over the road quite a bit. During that time, my quiet time was when all this really started, when I got my mind right to get into this process, right? So as I created my theme song, I listened to it over and over and over again, and I didn't create it, it was already there. And you guys just heard it. Every time you listen to my videos, it's always on there. So that's my theme song, guys. And I listened to it over and over again when I first started the process, is to motivate me, give me inspiration, and power me through this process, right? I think your theme song should be inspirational. It should make you cry. It should make you emotional. It should make you think about what you went through. So start thinking about some of your family members that have passed on, some of your spirits that are with you right now. So that's what it did for me. But I rocked out to it too. You know, I danced to it. I was able to meditate to it. I was able to go to sleep with it, right? So I think your theme song should be to include all those things. And that's what it did for me. So what I did was I tied my why to my purpose, to my theme song, to my senses, right? And so what I did was I took my theme and made it something I can hear. I tied my senses. What are your senses? Your sight, your hearing, your touch, your smell, your taste. So I use my theme song as my hearing. Every time I heard that, it triggered an emotion with me. It triggered it made me pumped up to go after my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, and my finances, right? To get debt free, to build wealth, to put an emergency fund in place, to build wealth, right? So every time I heard that theme song, it was on, guys. Sight, when I see the color purple, okay? That's my theme color. When I touch loose change and pennies on the street, I taught myself, inspired myself to pick up loose change and pennies on the street. You guys know that a couple videos ago, if you're new to the channel, go back and look at that. I had I created poems, and I wrote down in my journal about my journey. I wrote down a series of poems to describe what I went through. And one of my poems is a poem about loose change and picking up loose change and pennies on the street. And I trained myself to look for loose change and pennies on the street. Every time I touched them, it triggered that in my brain that I don't never forget about this moment. Don't ever forget about what you're fighting this for, right? And every time I picked up a loose change on pennies on the street, I look at the tail side, represent what I've been through, my past. The head side represented my future, my dreams, my aspirations, what I'm what I'm fighting for, shooting for, right? So I can never forget, guys, what I'm in this for, right? Smell was a smell of grilling in the background or lilac flowers. Again, when I'm going through this, think about your own self, right? If you want to use this aspect to train yourself to trigger that discipline inside you, right? to keep yourself going in this process. You're welcome to get involved and do the same thing, right? Smell of lilac, lilac flowers and grilling in the background, guys. Simple as that. My taste was a steak and potato dinner. Every time I ate a steak potato dinner, it also triggered that in my mind about and keep myself going on my financial journey. Now, for you spendthrifts out there, you free spirits that have a hard time doing your budget and maintaining your money, right? You look up at the end of the month and you got more month at the end of the month than money, okay? This may be great for you. And what I did was I combined my want tos with my should dos. What does that mean, K-2? Say, for example, that you have a favorite show you want to watch every Friday night. And that's your want to, right? But you know you should be eating better, right? You're gonna watch your favorite show while eating a chicken salad, for example, right? As it relates to your finances, what I did was I like a certain dessert. I like pecan pie, right? I love pecan pie. But I know I had to budget as well, right? Eating pecan pie was what I wanted to do, right? But I know I should do my budgeting, right? So I would, every time I budget on a bi-weekly basis or a monthly basis, I would have pecan pie. The old caveat with that is that you can only have your pecan pie when you did your budgeting, right? You're working on that discipline in your body, guys. You're working on that discipline in your mind. You can only have certain things if you do this, right? So that's what I did. Every time I budget, I would have my pecan pie, one slice of pecan pie. All right, so that helped me out during that process of doing your want tos with your should dos. And it really, you know, my desire to have my pecan pie really, you know, gave me a consistency of doing my budget every bi-weekly or every monthly basis. Now, the next thing, guys, is I created characters out of the things in my life. For example, I created heroes. I created not only a theme song, but an actual theme, a story through my theme, right? So I created villains and heroes in my story. My heroes was me, right, as the master, right? One of the greatest things I've ever seen, when I realized that a lot of times, guys, going through this process, is that the things I've heard and seen before relates to my life right now. And one of the things I'll never forget was, you guys remember Star Wars, right? Darth Vader, right? And during the Empire Strikes Back, I believe that Empire Strikes Back was Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back, one of the two. The first two movies of the Star Wars series. Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi are going at it in their lightsaber battle, and Darth Vader said, at one point, I was the pupil, right? You were the master. Now, I am the master, right? That's what I went through, guys, and telling my money what to do. Now I am the master, right? So I created characters out of me, my three spirits, my three angels, my grandfather, my uncle, and my pseudo stepfather, Oscar, right? They were my three angels, spirits. Now they're my three generals in my war to be debt free. I used the dollars I did have as my dollar soldiers, right, in this war to be debt free. The end of the war, guys, was debt free, and the dollars I did have were now my dollar soldiers in my fight, right? I knew I was going to lose some along the way, but eventually our goal was to grow those dollar soldiers, right? I made characters out of Murphy's Law and his cousins, Broke, Desperate, and Stupid, because that's what I was during my process, right? They were now characters in this war, guys, and I used things like society, right, as a character, as the overlord of this whole process, right? And life and time as characters, right? My goal was to defeat what society's throwing at me, guys, and that was part of this whole process, right? So again, guys, that's just part of my reasoning, my thinking, right? So the next thing, guys, was I had a decision to make when I was going through my debt process. Where I was going to choose either what methods I was going to use to get out of debt. Was that going to be the debt snowball method or the debt avalanche method? The debt avalanche method is, let's say, for example, you line up all your debt. No matter what dollar amount it is, you're going to choose the one that has the highest interest rate, okay? Whether that be a personal loan, car loan, credit card, house loan. Most likely, out of all those, the credit card carries the highest interest rate. Credit cards can go from 15% all the way up to 25, 30%. Well, you would choose the highest credit card. The highest interest rate is the credit card. So you choose the credit card as the one you would pay off, the debt you would pay off first, for example, right? But you may have a bill that's only $50, but that's not, the interest rate is low compared to your credit card. So you would pay the credit card off first. So you only pay off the one that has the debt that has the highest interest rate. Now the debt snowball method is go back and list your debt again from lowest to the highest debt you have. And the debt snowball method, you would choose the lowest debt dollar figure that you want to pay off first, right? And that's going to gain some, once you pay that off, it's going to gain some instant credibility for yourself, some instant confidence, right? It's going to jumpstart you on your discipline to get through the process. That's what I chose. I wanted to start right away. I wanted to get some wins right away, guys, and that's what I chose. I chose a debt snowball method, and I wanted that early win. I wanted that early jump start to my discipline, and that's what I chose. And it really helped me out because once I paid off, now you guys will find out in my story, I went through, trials and tribulations when I first started the Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover process, guys. It wasn't streamlined, let's put it that way. It took me about 1.5 years to really get in tune with it, really fine tune it for myself. And it wasn't smooth running, let's put it that way. But once I got started with it, guys, I stuck with the debt snowball method, and that really increased my discipline. The next thing, guys, is to give up something that's near and dear to you. What does that mean? Well, for me, it was to give up negative aspects of my life, negative relationships, negative associations, negative thought processes. I mentioned Star Wars, talked about, I have a card collection. I've been collecting cards since I was a young kid. Star Wars cards, basketball, football cards, anything about collection. I would collect football, basketball, Star Wars cards, and that kind of stuff. So I had to give that up, right? They can be worth money, years from now. Some are worth money now. But I had to reorganize myself. I had to reorganize what I was doing in my life to bring back more money for myself and keep the money I had and make that money grow. I had to set that aside, my collection practices, right? I had to, anybody know me, know that I'm a big football fan. I'm a big Minnesota Viking fan. I played football for a lot of years of my life. A lot of you guys know I'm a former football player. I love the Minnesota Vikings ever since I was 9 years old. I would watch games religiously. I would record games. At one point in my life, guys, I recorded every game. But again, one of the things that was important to me, I had to give up. To this day, guys, the last 3 or 4 years, I've only seen a few Viking games, believe it or not. This is a guy who used to watch every game, every Sunday religiously. Now I've had to give that up, guys, because when the Vikings are playing, where am I at? Still grinding, hustling, getting money from my businesses, getting money from my gig business and making that money grow. I'm going to talk more and more about that during my Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover process, guys, where I am financially in 2024. Stay tuned. But again, all this stuff I had to give up. Relationships, downtrodden, Debbie Downer relationships with females, I had to give up, right? Because where is that sucking my energy? We talk about the 4 pillars of health, right? You're with somebody, you're with a Debbie Downer, so a downtrodden relationship, downtrodden friendships. What's going to happen to your spirit? What's going to happen to your mental levels, right? From 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, where you at now? 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, that's going to drag that down, guys. And you need all the energy you can in this process be debt free. You're gonna go through all kind of, knew I had to go through all kind of, trials and tribulations, guys, and I needed to get rid of that stuff in my life, right? It required me to be by myself. And when I gained for myself, I knew that I had time to myself in my truck as I'm going down the road, going to the countryside, my route job, that that was my sanctuary. I quieted my life, peaceful life going through this process, quieted my life going through this process so I can think about what I was doing. I gave up things that were near and dear to me. Also, sports betting. When I was growing up years ago, and sports betting here in Nebraska, guys, Nebraska and Iowa is legal. And I would go, me and my uncle, years ago, we would go, put bets in, my friends, my brother, we go put our bets in the morning and watch our games from 11 o'clock, football and basketball games from 11 o'clock till midnight, right? All day long, right? See if we won some money, right? Again, what you're doing in this process, I knew I had to streamline it. I had to do activities and things that were gonna bring me money instead of losing money. Put money in my pocket versus money leaving my pocket, right? And I had to give up sports betting, guys. Again, it was religious. Every dang weekend I would do that, and I still do it. I go out and put a little change when my disposable income. Of course, now I can do that. I got a lot of disposable income. I can go out and put money here, put money there. It's fun, but it's not nothing. It's not like it's I gotta go hit this bet so I can pay my bills, and nothing like that. I just have fun with it, and if I win, I win. If I don't, it's okay. I can afford the $20, $50, whatever it may be. So, but I had to give that up, guys. Okay, guys, so the next thing I did was, so let it be written. You guys, long-term subscribers, know that I keep a 8x10 journal throughout my process, but I also keep this, my 3x5 journal that I take everywhere I go. Inside this 3x5 journal is my gratitude journal and my daily to-do list and things I think about during my journey, okay? Now, inside here, so let it be written. In my process, when I first started out, guys, I document every purchase that I made throughout the day, throughout the week. Sure, I have had a bank account that I can easily go back in there at the end of the day and look and see what my purchases are. But remember I talked about thought to paper, write it down. I wrote down everything. It's to visualize what I was spending my money on, right? And so that really helped me out. You guys be surprised. You try it out and see for yourself. But for me, it really benefited me to see what I was spending my money on paper, and I took it a step further. After I wrote it down in my journal, I also wrote down, I thought about it and wrote down, was it either a want or a need, okay? No way around it, guys. Either a want or a need, all right? And I categorized every purchase I made on that aspect, want or need. Then I took it a step further. I wrote down also, after that purchase, what I thought about, where was I at, where's my mind at, what I thought about, how did I feel about that purchase, right? And so that really stirred it up, guys, really got me focused on my discipline, really got me focused on being consistent in my spending. And so that really helped me out. Again, so let it be written was one of the great aspects of how I bettered my discipline and how I improved my discipline throughout my process. Next thing, guys, is I visualize. Again, I'm gonna talk to you guys about my poems. As I started my process back in 2013, I started documenting where I was in my financial journey with my writings. My writings were my poem and short stories. So the next thing I'm gonna tell you guys what I did was I visualized my poems. For example, my poems are inspired by popular song, right? I'm a hip-hop guy. A lot of my poems are inspired by my hip-hop background, songs I listened to when I was growing up. A lot of the songs that inspire me, that put some emotion and inside me, that the only purpose, like you said, the purpose of me was to find the K-2 in me, the I, K-2, understand the I in you so you can tell your money what to do. These poems really got to me, guys, really helped me reach inside me to pull out the I in me, the individual in me. And I wrote my poems related to that. And so As I'm going down the road, my route truck, listening the quietness of me, I list on my YouTube channel or on my YouTube. I would bring them up, have a list of things in my YouTube. I would bring them up, and all the songs I'm talking to you guys about right now are related to my poems. So I will visualize my poems through real life songs and popular songs, my hip hop songs, just top 40 songs, or anything, any type of song that's inspired me, that moved me, I would listen to, and I wrote my poems out accordingly. And so that was my journey, guys, and that's what I did. What I did was, as the song played out, I would visualize my lyrics in my poems as the lyrics play out in the song. So I would visualize my poem in that song, and it really helped me out to dream and visualize my goal, and visualizing being debt free, and visualizing one day, putting my emergency fund in place, and one day building wealth, right? Making my dollars grow, making my individual dollars grow, right? So that's what I did, man. I visualized my lyrics. I visualized the things I wrote on paper in my journal here, okay? That's what I did, guys. It may seem kind of strange, but again, things you're gonna hear in this video are not things you're gonna hear on other YouTube channels, right? This is my personal way of how I better myself with my discipline and maintain my discipline, right? Things like the debt snowball, debt avalanche, I'm sure you guys have heard of those kind of things before, but these kind of things are only personal to me, guys. And again, make it personal to you. Next, guys, is find an accountability partner. For me, I was completely alone. Before I moved back home here to Omaha, I was in Minneapolis, completely alone. My daughter had graduated high school. She was in college. And at that time, I thought that was a detriment for me, being alone, but it actually turned out to be one of the greatest things of all time for me in this process, because that's when I really discovered my three spirits, my three angels, my grandfather, my uncle, and my stepfather, Oscar. And they were with me all along. I just didn't know it. And you're gonna find more and more about this process, guys, as we go along, how K-2 came about. But this was a process for me to discover, okay? But I had to use them, my three angels, as my accountability partner. When I first started out, guys, I used myself as my accountability partner. I really couldn't trust anybody with my financial health situation. The only one that knew toward the end of my journey to be debt free was my brother. He knew more than anybody else, but I shared with him. I didn't share with anybody, guys. It was just alone. It was me alone by myself. I broke myself down in threes. Me, myself, and I. Me and myself is gonna be okay. It was the I. It was the I that I had to retrieve. It was the I that had to reach out inside me, the God in me, to bring out as the individual me, to power me through this process, right? To power me through this discipline process, the confidence process to be debt free, right? So I broke myself down in threes, guys. Me, myself, and I as my accountability partner. Now I recommend it. If I'm talking to you, you reach out to me and say, K-2, I need help. I would recommend that you find an accountability partner, someone you can trust, brother, sister, co-worker, someone that knows your information, knows your situation. Maybe not know everything, but they know what your goals and dreams, aspirations for. They know why you're in this process to be debt-free and to build wealth, okay? But for me, guys, I did not have an accountability partner. I had to be creative, right? And then toward the end, of course, was my three angels in the background, root me on. And once you guys get involved in my story, there's so much of this that you guys don't know that I'll present to you. Right now, I'll keep it very general, but it gets more and more elaborate and more levels to this stuff, right? So I'll keep it just like that for right now. Next, guys, is to find 3 to 5 people. What that mean? For me, I knew I had to go out and find some people who have done this already. Mentors. I had to go out and find some people I can relate to that maybe come from a similar background to me, maybe look like me, maybe talk like me, maybe someone who walked in my shoes. I had to go find those people. I had to go find people who were inspirational, who gave me some punch one day when I was down, right? Who gave me some uplift when I was down. I had to go find those people. And I knew, guys, that my circle, my family, my circle of people I was around wasn't one of those, right? Because the situation I come from, guys, is, look, like most of you, look around you right now, right? Most people are in financial straits in this country. They're in some situations desperate situations in this country. And a lot of those you may know, right? Your family and friendship group, right? It was the same for me. I had to go out and go online to YouTube. When I first started, it was all about Dave Ramsey, right? I listened to his podcast, his radio show, mostly of his radio show on the road when I was doing my route driving job, driving to the countryside. Man, it was every day. And I told that story too. If you're new to the channel, go back and look at my old video. I described the situation when I discovered Dave Ramsey on my radio in my truck. So it was all about Dave Ramsey, his show religiously every day. It really kept me going, really kept me fired up. When I would listen to Dave Ramsey's show, man, and he would have people on his show talking about their debt-free process, and at the end of their section with, her sessions with Dave Ramsey on their show, they would do the debt-free screams. I'm debt-free. Man, that really pumped me up. He would have singles, couples on there talking about their situations, and that really kept me going. But right now I'm up to 5-6 people that I listen to on a daily basis. Guys that are in the financial space and rocking it. Man, that really keeps me going. That really kept me focused on improving my discipline to get through the process. Okay, so I hope this helps you guys out in your process as well. Next, guys, is go around the block. What does that mean? I knew back in the day that I needed to change. I needed to embrace change, and I needed to work on myself, right? Years ago, I was a teacher. I was a behavioral health teacher, behavioral modification teacher. We call it BMOD back in the day. BMOD, where I had kids that got suspended, kicked out of public schools. They came to us for crisis intervention and to working on the behavior, working on the emotion, their behavior, control themselves to get through the process of school. And I took my knowledge, what I learned back then, apply it to myself. I did BMOD to myself, guys, to work on myself, right? I knew I needed to embrace change. In order to embrace change, you got to do activities in your life. I had to do activities in my life to betterment that change, to push that change, to make that change routine. So I would go around the block. What does that mean? Going to work, I would take different ways to work, embracing change, right, guys? To and from work, I would take different routes back home, for example. I went out and put myself out there, out of my comfort zone. I joined a book club. I joined a telescope group on Facebook, right? I went to a seminar where I didn't know anybody. I went to a real estate seminar where I didn't know anybody, right? I not only reading The Total Money Maker by Dave Ramsey, I used that as a springboard to start reading other ways of personal growth and financial health books, right? So that's what I did. To embrace change, that's what I did for myself. So I wanted to put myself out there like that, get myself out of my box, right? I went out to different restaurants, right, by myself. I went out to movie theaters by myself for the first time, right? I always thought that you had to go out to eat with other people, or go out to eat or go out to movies with other people. I did those things by myself, right? To help find the I in me, the individual in me, the God in me, was to go out and reach in to pull out the individual in me, to fight society's pressure, society's stigmas, society's telling you what this thing should be about, right? So I wanted to change all that. So one of the greatest books I read in that process, guys, was what you saw in the pre-video, was a book called The Obstacle is the Way. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. A great book I recommend to anybody. The Obstacle is the Way is about people in history that get where they want to go. They went through astronomical odds, great odds to improve their lives, right? An awesome book that I would recommend to anybody. It really fired me up. It really, really, really put that thought in my head that, you know, if they can do what they went through, I can certainly go through what I got to go through to be debt free. And man, I'll never forget that book. I recommended that book, guys, throughout this process to you guys. I'm going to recommend it now. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. One of the greatest books I've ever read. And I didn't read it. I read it. I did the audio book going down the road during my route driving job. But it was, man, what an awesome book. Again, next, guys, is one of the most important, but it seemed like a small thing, is I knew that what I wanted to do was I want to celebrate my small wins. And what does that mean, Kminustwo? When I was successful in my budgeting process in the beginning, for example, if I had extra money left to apply to my debt, that was a win for me. I would pat myself on the back. I would write that down in my journal. Guys, remember, my journal was very important because it documented my struggles. It documented my wins, my losses. I would write that down in my journal saying, hey man, good job. Just simply as that, guys, writing it down saying, hey man, great job. That was a positive reinforcement. And like I talked to you guys earlier when I was teaching out in my BMod, behavior modification, I would help kids out by, if they did, you know, in my classroom, if they raised their hand without talking, for example, or if they did positive behaviors, I would give them positive reinforcement points or a treat or points at the end of the week. They would add up their points. They would buy things in our physical store, buy gifts and things of that nature. And I did the same thing to myself, right? I gave myself positive reinforcements, right? Gave myself a treat. I went out to Dairy Queen, got a Blizzard at the end of the week if I was successful in my journey. Things like that. They may seem small. All these things are very important, guys. They may seem small, but they're very important to me. They may be very important to you as well. Next, guys, is I want you guys to understand that this is very important, that your personal finances is what it is. It's personal. Every journey, mine and yours and everybody else, is going to be different. Your personal journey is going to be different than mine, right? My personal journey is going to be different than yours. The next guy, the next girl, the next person, right? So it's very important that if you guys going through this and you've seen something that, again, that you may want to grab a hold, you think it may benefit you, grab all of these. Grab one of these or come up with your own, right? The next things, guys, is I use the envelope system. That really helped me. I went through Dollar Store, Dollar Tree, whatever, and got some envelopes. I put everything, I separated all my categories of my life financially in those envelopes. My rent was in one envelope. My food budget was in one envelope. Anything about my transportation costs, my car was in one. Things of that nature. My insurances, I had like 3 or 4, 5 different insurances. One envelope, I stuffed all 5 envelopes into one envelope that covered my insurance bracket, right, for example. So that's what I did. And when that money was gone out of those envelopes, it really trained my discipline, really bettered my discipline. When I know all that money was gone, I could never use it. I could not use that money at the rest of the month. Once that money is gone, that's it for the month. So I had to be very strategic and thoughtful on when that money was gone and to get through my budgeting. I want to be successful in my budgeting because I knew being successful in my budgeting is going to be successful in getting debt free. And so that's what I did. And again, I want you guys to understand, as you're going through this process, create your own ways of doing things for yourself, okay? And that may benefit you in the long run because this is all about you, not about me. I give this information, guys, out because I want you to understand this is my journey, but I understand you have your own, and I hope you're visualizing in your head how you can better your financial health for yourself. Again, guys, I want you guys to understand that, okay? Now, when you guys do come up with your own version of K-2, when you guys do come up with your own plan, when you guys do come up with your own theme song, your own theme, your ways of bettering your discipline, maintaining your discipline, I would like to hear about it, okay? Put it down in the comments below. reach out to me on Facebook, reach out to me on the gram, send me a message, and let me know. I'm very curious about what you guys come up with, okay? So give me some feedback, guys. Give me some information about yourselves, and give me your version of Kminustwo and how you're gonna power through this debt-free process, right? So again, guys, there you have it. Those are the ways how I better my discipline, how I maintain my discipline. If you are listening to this and you are a family member listening to this 50 years from now, from 2024, and 100 years from now, or 200 years from now, I'm not here. Now you know how Kminustwo, how I did it. Family members, how did your brother do it? How did my dad do it? How did my cousin do it? How did my uncle did it? That's how I did it, guys. Guys, again, go to my Facebook page if you're interested in having a 15-minute session with me. Ask me questions about how you can get better at your health, your financial health, your budgeting. Reach out to me on Facebook. Send me a message. Reach out to me on Gram. Send me a message. If you're interested in doing the financial savvy test, go to my Facebook page. Up top is my logo. Hit that at the cover page, the cover photo, and go on there and take my financial savvy test. You might be interested in finding out what you come up with, okay? Get back to me with your answers. I'll get back to you with the real answers and let you know where you are in your financial savviness, okay? If you're interested in finding out more of my photos and videos from my Egypt trip, go to my Instagram page. I'll drop links for all this down below, guys, in the description box, okay? And again, if you're interested in bettering your health, growing your money, looking for an app like Robinhood, for example, I have a great financial app guy called Moomoo I use. It's going great for me. You're welcome to jump on board. I'll leave a link down below. You're welcome to jump on board, guys. Use the app, get the information in there, and grow your wealth, okay? Moomoo will give you free stocks. If you put money in your account, for example, just $100 in your account, Moomoo will give you free stocks, guys. And it benefited me, it may benefit you as well. So there you have it, guys. Again, I want you guys to understand there's 4 pillars of health: physical health, mental health, spiritual health, and financial health, okay? And your money wins when you do. Don't ever forget that. Okay, Kminustwos, if you're new to the channel, you like what you heard, I ask you like this video. You liking the video is going to send this out to other people like you that may need help, okay? Share it with other people that you care and love. It may benefit them long term. Kminustwos, good to have you. Welcome, and don't forget, a few weeks from now, the best update I've ever done, guys. My Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover update, where I am financially in 2024. Coming up soon. Again, we've come too far to forget who we are. So let's take it to another level. Raise the bar. Only then can we toast to ancestor stars. Peace.